Okay, so a lot is happening in tech right now. See, after leading Apple for almost 15 years, Tim Cook is officially stepping down as Apple's CEO, and at the same time, there are reports that even Apple is facing supply chain problems because of which the iPhone 18 launch can be delayed and the MacBook Neo is getting a price hike, might. And May is actually heating up both in terms of this stupid weather and lack of electricity and smartphone launches, because right now every brand is launching phones back to back, and these are not just normal phones. CMF might launch their budget phone in India this next month. We are talking flip phones are also there, gaming phones with crazy cooling, 200 megapixel monsters. Plus, there's a compact phone with a trick up its sleeve. So if you're planning to buy a new phone right now, just stop right there because this is where it gets interesting. Also, the interesting thing in this upcoming video is I get to connect with Team TechWiser with your questions, which I'm really looking forward to answering all of them. I'm really excited. Pratik, TechWiser. Let's go. Now, before we get to the Apple news, let's start with the expensive phones and slowly move towards budget and mid-range phones. The first phone in this list is Motorola's flip phone, the Razr 70 Ultra. Now, Motorola US has already teased it on Twitter. The leak suggests that it might launch on 29th April in China, and in India, it might come around second week of May. Now, in terms of specs, it is rumored to come with a 6.9-inch foldable OLED display and a 4-inch cover screen, along with 50 megapixel main plus ultra-wide-angle camera, a 5000 mAh battery. Now, for performance, as of now, the leak suggests that it will come with Snapdragon 8 Elite, which, if you're not sure about the naming convention, is just 1 or 2 years old. Now, in terms of pricing, as per rumors, it might be priced around 99,999, so just under 1 lakh rupees. Now, I'm not sure, but many of you might have seen this photo of Shreyas Iyer in the IPL. He's holding the vivo X300 Ultra, and this is the same phone. Like, when I saw this photo initially, it seemed like he's holding a camera, and even if you look at this form factor, it looks more of like those compact point-and-shoot cameras. Now, the X300 Ultra comes in 3 colors. Honestly, the green, or let's just call it the matcha color, looks really good. Now, the X300 Ultra has already launched in China on March 30th, and it is expected to launch very soon. Now, some leaks suggest that it might launch in first week of May in India. Now, the phone is already launched in China, so these are kind of expected or rumored specs of the X300 Ultra Indian variant. In camera, it has a 200 megapixel main camera which could use Sony's LYT-901 sensor. It is for the first time that Sony is launching a 200 megapixel sensor. Now, along with that, it will have a 50 megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera and again a 200 megapixel periscope camera. Now, Vivo is going all in on cameras here, and we also have some camera samples of the X300 Ultra, and you can see, just look at the kind of images it is capturing, pretty insane. Also, the dedicated camera kit, it would not only have 1 but 2 camera lenses. Like, I'm really excited for this phone. Now, in terms of pricing, since this is an ultra flagship, the leak suggests that it might be priced around 1.3 to 1.4 lakh plus additional for the lenses. And speaking of first time in India, how can we forget about Oppo? Oppo is also set to launch its ultra flagship, the Oppo Find X9 Ultra in India. And the whole internet is already getting crazy for this one. Like, again, the X9 Ultra has already launched in China, and it might launch around third week of May in India. Now, this color variant of the Find X9 Ultra looks very similar to the Hasselblad X2D Mark II camera. Now, for the specs, unlike the Vivo X300 Ultra, the Find X9 Ultra will have 4 cameras, and it has a dedicated photography kit. Now, the Find X9 Pro was also launched with a telephoto extender, and if you look at the photos, and of course we use the telephoto extender, but it's just to give you an idea of what kind of picture quality you can get on a smartphone. And if X9 Pro can take photos to this level, imagine what photography would be with the X9 Ultra. Now, in terms of performance, it has Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 along with a 7050 mAh battery. Now, let's talk about the realistic part, pricing. Since this is an ultra flagship, as per leaks, it could also launch somewhere around 1.4 to 1.5 lakh in India. Now, these were the ultra phones, but as a compact phone paglu, and even you people, I'm more excited about Vivo's upcoming compact phone, the Vivo X300 FE. Now, the design here, it looks very similar to the camera visor we have seen in Pixel phones or the iPhone Air. And you know what? The Ultra alone is not just gonna have all the fun, because the X300 FE will also support a telephoto extender. And if that's true, then it is, W times for compact phones. Now, the X300 FE is also rumored to launch alongside the X300 Ultra on 6th May. By the way, we have already covered the Chinese variant on our channel. You can check that out maybe here after watching this one. In terms of specs, the Vivo X300 FE is rumored to have a 6.31-inch AMOLED display, the new 2026 compact phone size. And it also gets a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor along with a 6500 mAh battery. Now, in terms of cameras, it is expected to come with a triple camera setup. Now, in terms of pricing, you would see a price hike, and it would launch around 60 to 70,000 in India. Last year, it was around 55,000 rupees. Now let's move to the mid-range category. Next up, we have a gaming phone, the Infinix GT 50 Pro. It will be launching globally on 24th April and it is expected to soon launch in India. Now the first thing that would really grab your attention is the design. It has that proper gaming vibe to it. Even what's more interesting here is, as per rumors, it might feature a liquid cooling system. We saw a glimpse of this at the MWC 2023 where OnePlus showcased a concept OnePlus 11 with a liquid cooling system. They called it Active Cryoflux Liquid Cooling. Honestly, name aside, that looked really cool, but then it never made it to the mass market. However, it's good to see that Infinix is trying to bring this to the mass market. Along with this, it is rumored to have the shoulder triggers that we saw with the previous GT30 Pro. Now specs wise, it is rumored to come with MediaTek Dimensity 8400 Ultimate processor. You'll get up to 144Hz AMOLED display, 50 megapixel main camera and 6500 mAh battery with 45 watt wired and 30 watt wireless charging. Now the pricing is where it gets interesting. The leak suggests that it might be priced under 30,000 rupees, which is very interesting because as of now, in the under 30,000 price point, we haven't seen a new gaming phone in recent launches. Poco and iQOO were the one who used to do this, but now even they have breached 35,000 rupees price point. Next up, OnePlus is also set to launch not one but two smartphones next month, the Nord CE6 and the Nord CE6 Lite. And both are set to launch on 7th May. OnePlus has confirmed this via Twitter post. Now, if you look at the Nord CE6, it looks quite similar to the recently launched OnePlus Nord 6. Now, in terms of specs, it is rumored to come with Snapdragon 7S Gen 4. Along with this, it might have a 144Hz AMOLED display, IP69 rating and an 8000 mAh battery along with 80 watt fast charging. Battery specs this year, stonks. Now price wise, it is rumored to be a bit expensive. It will be around 27 to 28,000 rupees. Now the Nord CE5 was a very interesting device. We recommended it quite a lot, so I'm excited about the Nord CE6. Let's see how it turns out. Also, you will have Nord CE6 Lite. The CE Lite series is making a comeback after 2 years. Now design wise, it has a very galactic look and feel. Now in terms of specs, it is expected to come with MediaTek Dimensity 7400 Apex processor. Like, thank God, they finally moved on from Snapdragon 695. Along with this, it might come with a 144Hz LCD display, a 50 megapixel main camera and a massive 7000 mAh battery with 45 watt charging. Pricing wise, it is rumored to be around 22 to 23,000 rupees in India. And finally, the most exciting budget phone, CMF Phone 3 Pro, is launching maybe in May in India. Now, the design is leaked and it looks like the CMF and 4A Pro had a baby. But keeping the jokes aside, this seems like a major shift from the design language that CMF phones had. Earlier they looked quite bold, but in this design leak, the CMF Phone 3 looks very minimal, plus the body could also be metal frame. Now for specs, rumors suggest that it might come with Snapdragon 7S Gen 4, UFS 3.1 storage, a 50 megapixel telephoto camera. Now that specs look very interesting for a budget phone. Of course, since it's 2026, the price will also take a bump. The CMF Phone 3 Pro is rumored to be priced around 22 to 23,000 rupees. But even at 22 to 23,000 rupees, the specs look better than other smartphones that are launched in the similar price point. Now, before we talk about the upcoming iPhone 18, let's quickly talk about what's happening with Apple because this is big. See, Tim Cook is stepping down as Apple CEO, and after leading the company for almost 15 years, he was the one who literally scaled Apple. For reference, when he became CEO, Apple had fewer than 1 billion active users, and currently it is over 2.5 billion active users, so 2.5x is a very big number. Now he'll step aside from the post of CEO and will be acting as executive chairman, still associated with Apple. Now he does receive a lot of flack for lack of innovation, but Tim Cook was the CEO behind the successful product lineups like Apple Watch, Apple AirPods and AirTag, if you consider AirTag as innovation. And now taking his place will be John Turnus. He has been at Apple for more than 20 years and he has been leading the hardware team for a long time. He has worked on almost every major Apple product from iPhone to Mac to iPad to even AirPods and Apple Watch. So basically a proper product guy, which is what Apple wants to lead now. And with that, as per rumors, Apple is taking a very interesting approach with the iPhones. The first of them is the standard iPhone 18. Now there will be no iPhone 18 in 2026. Instead, it might be delayed until 2027. Now in September 2026, as per leaks, they will launch the Pro and the Pro Max variant. And we might see this new dark cherry color variant, like very neutral color, I must say. Now talking about the Pro models, for performance, they are expected to come with Apple's new A20 Pro chip built on a 2nm process. Also, where it gets interesting is the iPhone 18 Pro might feature a variable aperture, which basically means we can control now how much light enters the sensor, leading to better light control and more control over depth to the user. Now we have seen this tech already with Galaxy S9 series, and in 2024 we saw it with Xiaomi 14 Ultra, but it turned out to be more or less a gimmick or a good to have. But it's interesting to see how Apple implements it. Finally, it seems like in 2026 they are focusing on cameras. Now in terms of pricing, as per the leaks, Apple might not increase the price of iPhone 18 series this year, so it could be similar to last year. Also, this is not confirmed yet, but MacBook Neo will now have a price hike. See, MacBook Neo uses iPhone 16 Pro's chip, A18 Pro chip. In fact, binned chips. For example, while making a processor for iPhone 16 Pro, some of them turn out not exactly to the specification. They might have one less GPU or one less CPU core, so they are called binned processors. Now, using those binned chipset, Apple put them in MacBook Neo. But now the demand is so high that those chips are done, and then they'll have to go back to manufacturing, which is again expensive. So they might hike the price of MacBook Neo. Currently it is selling for 69,900 in India. Okay, Q&A time. Now this is a very interesting question. See, the live demo phones mostly stay in good condition because people use it only for 5 odd minutes and then keep the phone back at the kiosk. It's mostly charging all of the time. And from what I've heard, the live demo phones are available at a good price as well. Just two things you need to check. Number one, warranty status. Will you get 1 year of warranty or the remaining time of warranty? And number two, the most important thing, disabling the demo software. Even if you factory reset the phone, the demo software comes back on the phone. So you need to check whether the demo software is disabled by the shopkeeper. Number two, actually it would have been better if you had mentioned your usage requirement. But to answer your question, this level of performance I believe only makes a difference when you're working on some machine learning or AI tasks. For coding and software development, you might notice a huge gap in performance between the MacBook Air and the Panther Lake processor. So if you need a laptop for coding or for AI development, MacBook Air M5 is the one to go. I would not say to go with the iPhone 15 Pro. See, if you're getting it second hand, it usually depends on the price, and if the battery health is then 80 to 85%, then even in medium usage, you will need to charge the phone in the middle of the day. So if you want to go with an iPhone, better to go with the iPhone 16 series or at least the iPhone 16 Pro. That would last you longer. EV. So you guys love EV scooter videos. All I can say is we are cooking something. No one makes video like this, but we have bought an EV, we used it for 2+ years and then we'll sell it off, and that will answer a lot of questions about two-wheelers. Now for TVs, so Xiaomi has recently launched a mini LED TV. The best part is it is direct lit, and with offers it will come around 48,999, which is a really good deal for mini LED TV. And if you go for QLED, make sure it's not edge lit, it's direct lit. You can also check out LG QNET, that is a mini LED TV which is also direct lit. Oh, laptop. So I was using the Lenovo IdeaPad 3 with Snapdragon X processor. I've used it for like 6+ months and the experience has been very good. Like in terms of software, Chrome, Photoshop, even all the Microsoft Office apps that work really well. That's not been an issue. I've had on and off with printers sometime and some benchmarking software, but the battery life is pretty good. I get about 10+ hours of battery life, so I would recommend that if you get it under 60K. Or you can also check out the MacBook Neo. That would be really good if you can get it in student discount under 60,000. This one. So this pre-activated scam is happening very rapidly. Like you buy a phone and it is already activated 6 months ago. So now you only get 6 months warranty. The best thing is check warranty via IMEI as soon as the phone arrives. And if it is pre-activated, just return the phone straight away. So these are the smartphones, news, tech and your Q&A that we were excited for. Personally, I'm most excited for the Ultras and also the X300 FE. That compact with a camera kit sounds very interesting. Let us know in the comments which smartphone are you excited for. On that note, this is signing off. See you in the next video. Pew, pew.